Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Nextech AR Solutions Corporation Fourth Quarter and 2020 Year-End Results Conference Call. With me on the call are Evan Gappelberg, Chief Executive Officer, and Kashif Malik, Chief Financial Officer. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you'd like to ask a question during that time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. To withdraw your question, press the pound key. We ask that you limit your time to one question plus a follow-up question before cycling back into the queue. Participants are advised that the webcast is live and is also being recorded for playback purposes. Today, after markets close, Nextech AR Solutions Corporation released their final results for the fourth quarter and full year 2020. A copy of the earnings disclosed is available on their website and SEDAR. Some of the information discussed on this call is based on information as of today, April 15th, 2021, and contains forward-looking statements that involve risks and uncertainties. Actual results may differ materially from those set forth in such statements. For discussion of these risks and uncertainties, you should review the forward-looking statements disclosure in the earnings press release as well as in our SEDAR filings. During this call, we will discuss IFRS results and non-IFRS financial measures. A reconciliation between IFRS results and non-IFRS financial measures is available in our MD&A, which can be found on SEDAR. Neither this call nor the webcast archives may be re-recorded or otherwise reproduced or distributed without our prior written permission from Nextech. To begin our call, Evan Gappelberg, CEO, will discuss the highlights of our quarter and 2020 year, as well as recent business developments, followed by Kashif Malik, who will review our financial results and outlook. Finally, Evan will make some closing remarks before opening up the line for more questions. I'll now turn the call over to Evan Gappelberg, CEO.
Thank you very much for that. And good afternoon and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I should say this evening. Wow, what a difference a year makes. 2020 was truly a unique year for the world and for Nextech. COVID-19 emerged early in the year. The stock market crashed along with Nextech stock to sub $1, if anyone can remember back in the beginning of 2020, only to rebound and see the market and Nextech stock explode higher, hitting $10 a share at its peak in 2020. 2020 was truly a unique year in that it was a year of both extreme lows and extreme highs for shareholders. Today, however, we're in 2021. We made it. Things look on track to get back to normal, or I should say pre-COVID-19 normal. I do want to thank all of our employees who are from all over the world, literally from all over the world, for their continued commitment. We truly have a diverse group of talents at Nextech, which is super exciting to me. As a small, fast-growing technology company, we do have talents from Canada, from the United States, Poland, France, the UK, Germany, the Netherlands, Russia, Scotland, South Africa, Spain, Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, China, and Israel. Pretty amazing for a small company to have talent spread out all over the globe like that. And I can't wait to meet each and every one of you. Nextech's successes in 2020 were made possible only through the hard work, creativity, and dedication of our talented and valued employees. Our culture of organizational learning and respectful collaboration is energizing our business and driving business excellence. And I would like to thank our employees for another year of strong performance. A quick look back at 2020. I know, we're in 2021 and everybody's probably already moved on, but we are here to talk about our 2021 results. Nextech did conclude the year 2020 with strong growth and results across our multiple businesses, including e-commerce, augmented reality, EdTech, and events. In 2020, our e-commerce business saw a surge in revenue as the COVID-19 pandemic locked down all brick-and-mortar storefronts, and everyone was forced to shop online. We at Nextech were uniquely positioned as we had just expanded our warehouse space from 7,000 to 16,000 square feet, which gave us the flexibility to acquire more inventory early on in the pandemic, which really cushioned supply chain issues that many of our competitors faced in 2020. In 2020, COVID also locked down learning institutions, which triggered our augmented reality business to also take off as we landed contracts with Ryerson University for augmented reality-driven learning in the form of AR labs. We are now working with Microsoft as a partner to leverage and sell this same technology into other higher education learning institutions, which we expect to bear fruit in 2021. In 2020, we also acquired the Airshow app and the amazing team that built it, which has now become an exciting new platform for us to offer live streaming of human holograms, which we believe we have a first mover advantage with. We are working towards offering a platform in 2021 where anyone can become a hologram with just a smartphone. That means everyone can become a hologram and beam themselves around the globe. No green screen required. All you will need is a smartphone. Amazing. We believe that once this is launched, that everyone will want to use this technology. It is our belief that AR live streaming will squarely put us on the AR map in 2021 as a company. In 2020, we also acquired Map Dynamics, which was a hybrid events platform, which has turned into two new products called LiveX and MapX. In a consumer-driven digital economy, the pace of innovation has really increased tremendously. Speed matters. Speed matters. Change has never been this fast, and the global pandemic has increased the need for digital transformation in a way that nobody saw coming. Companies are beyond the stage of awareness when it comes to digital technologies. They're way past that. They have to reimagine their end-to-end processes. For example, customer experiences is not just omni-channel, it's about integrating all the required pieces to deliver the best customer experience. Digital transformation is a journey, and it requires an integrated platform to enable the key elements. Each step in the consumer journey needs to be consistent, connected, and create a memorable experience with the end user. A truly inspiring digital experience that can extend or augment the physical world. As customers' experiences become the basis for differentiation and competitive advantage, brands will only succeed if they have an actionable view of the customer in real time. In other words, analytics and data. Nextech's release of their innovative new platform, which is LiveX, will deliver and is delivering great customer experiences at scale with the added power of augmented reality. Nextech AR's LiveX is the company's digital platform for the future and the industry's first open and extensible platform that enables augmented digital experiences. AR e-commerce can happen on LiveX. AR advertising happens on LiveX, and AR product views on LiveX. Innovations include industry-first AR capabilities, and AR live streaming holograms, real-time customer data analytics, as well as new ways to personalize and deliver impactful digital and hybrid experiences. So there's a lot happening with LiveX, and we're super excited about it. Our AR Innovation Labs team is also currently working on NFT technology for the augmented reality experiences. And again, that will live and breathe on LiveX. So Nextech's fourth quarter growth was fueled by a combination of growth from all of our businesses that we operate, not just one. We are a unique public small cap company in that we are diversified. We are not a point solution. And all of our businesses have the red thread of AR connecting them as our core technology. Our core technology is augmented reality. Our AR business is connected to everything we sell, creating a virtual flywheel effect within our company. For e-commerce, we offer web AR, AR Ties 360, and AR Ties, as well as our newly released Genie model. For IgniteX, formerly Inferno, and LiveX and MapX, we offer a large selection of AR-enhanced experiences, including human holograms, 3D AR booths, as well as custom AR experiences and AR live streaming. Throughout 2020, demand for our products and AR services dramatically accelerated. And we believe that the COVID-19 pandemic has created favorable industry dynamics for technology-driven companies such as Nextech that are continuing into 2021. Our business model has not changed, as we are in the AR virtual experience business, which is a fast-growing, high-demand global market today. Nextech's platforms were used in many virtual events in Q1 2020, including the Canadian Institute of Mining, Metallurgy and Petroleum Global Mining Commission, Nephrology, AGM, Houston's Galaxy Nutcracker, the Canadian Electricity Association, Ryerson University's 2020 graduation, Restaurants Canada, Food Service Trade Show, Voice and Visibility, TEDx, the list goes on and on. And it's continuing into 2021. In conclusion, Nextech is focused on its key strategic priority of maintaining financial strength and liquidity. Currently, the company is sitting on over $20 billion in cash with zero debt, which positions the company to be able to aggressively expand both organically and through acquisitions. Since founding the company in January 2018, the company has been advancing efforts on its AR technology and evaluating potential acquisitions to optimize its capital structure, improve liquidity, and enhance long-term shareholder value. And I do believe that we are succeeding. Recently, we've had some amazing technological breakthroughs within the company, some of which we have shared with investors, of which I'm especially excited. The AR in our airshow application. That is what the breakthrough technology that will be fully realized and monetized when launched as a self-service platform in 2021. In 2021, we envision a world where anyone can turn themselves into a hologram and beam themselves anywhere in the world. 2020 was a challenge nobody was ready for, but our company rose to meet that challenge and came out much stronger. We really came out battle tested. I've never been more optimistic about our business or business prospects. The industries that we do business in are growing very fast, and the technology and products that we are selling is what both consumers and enterprise customers want to buy. To date, we have had 8 quarters, 8 quarters in a row of record revenue. And I expect that trend to continue with another record quarter when we report our Q1 2021 numbers. I do want to take a moment to thank Howard Katz and the Mackey team for supporting us and raising us $14 million on this recent round, and in previous rounds, over $15 million that they've brought into Nextech, totaling almost $30 million. As this growth capital that Mackey's provided us with has really given us the needed fuel to achieve our goals. And with that, I want to turn the call over to CFO of Nextech, who will comment financials. Kashif, take it away.
Thank you, Evan, and good evening. As a reminder, unless noted otherwise, all figures reported on today's call are in Canadian dollars under IFRS. As the company changed its year-end in the prior year, the fourth quarter figures in 2020 are for the 3-month period from October 1st to December 31st, 2020, and are compared to the 4-month period from September 1st to December 31st, 2019. For the annual comparatives, it is the 12 months ended December 31st, 2020, compared to the 7 months ended December 31st, 2019. Total revenue in the fourth quarter was up 181% to $7 million as strong growth for product sales, technology services, and renewable software increased. Product sales grew 88% to $4.6 million due to expanded product offerings, adding additional sales channels, and increased capacity to facilitate the fulfillment of sales. Our technology services really gained traction, resulting in $2.2 million in revenue, or 4,657% increase over the prior period. The nature of this revenue will vary from quarter to quarter based on the number, size, and timing of customer projects underway. Gross profit increased 104% to $3.4 million, representing a gross margin of 48%. Moving to the full year 2020 results, total revenue for the year was $17.7 million, up 342% from 2019. Product sales revenue of $14 million was up 253%, and technology services revenue of $3.4 million was up 6,413%. We continue to be pleased with the diversity and strength of our total revenue base. For the year, no individual customer accounted for greater than 10% of total revenues. Gross profit grew by 320% to $9.9 million, or 56% of revenue, compared to 59% of revenues in the prior year. The decrease is due to additional salaries and wages for technology services. Operating expenses were $19 million compared to $4.9 million in the prior period. The increase in operating expenses was due to higher headcount and related compensation costs. We also had a number of expenses that were somewhat one-time in nature, relating to recruitment, legal costs for acquisitions, financings, uplisting to the Senior Neo Exchange, and customer contracts. These increases reflect investment in corporate infrastructure and capability to support our expansion and growth strategy. This year, we have aggressively expanded our team's size, skill set, and capabilities across all functions, organically as well as through acquisitions. We believe that these investments will continue to support our continued growth and long-term view. As a result of these investments, net loss for the year was $15.6 million. On December 31st, 2020, we had cash of $10.7 million, digital assets of $2.5 million, inventory of $3.2 million, and a positive working capital of $13.6 million. We anticipate further sales of our product as we continue to grow. Our cash and inventory position are healthy and allow for us to continue to deliver on our strategy and growth. We anticipate the additional revenue and our acquisitions will generate cash flow to reduce the amount of working capital required to sustain operations. As Evan's mentioned, this has been an unusual year, and we continue to monitor and respond to these conditions as they unfold. Although unusual, we have had one of the most transformative years in our history. With our product in place and our sales team converting, paired with our most recent $14 million raise, we are ready to take this organization to the next level. Great job to the team. Thank you for your continued support of Nextech. With that, I will turn the call back over to Evan.
Thank you, Kashif. In closing, I would like to thank our employees, our shareholders, our partners for their continued support as we remain focused on increasing long-term shareholder value. I do want to, before we open it up to calls, I do want to just say one thing about NASDAQ, because I know that's going to be the number one question. So before everybody jumps onto that question, I just want to say we're still talking to NASDAQ. There is nothing else that we will be able to publicly disclose on this call, so please ask some other question. And with that, operator, if you'd like to ask a question other than NASDAQ, I'd be super happy to answer because we are still talking and there's nothing else to say.
Thank you very much. So if you would like to ask a question at this time, please press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you wish to withdraw a question, press the pound key. Your first question will come from Lisa Thompson of Zacks Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi, Evan and Kashif.
How are you?
Okay. Well, the instructions said I only get one question. So, before going back in the line. So I guess my big question is, now that we're already in April, can you give kind of a big picture view of where you think the company's going this year as far as like revenue mix? I see that you broke out finally, e-commerce and the rest of the business in your filing. So what's your feeling of like what portion of the business is going to be that this year and next year, and the ad business, all that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it. So, look, as you know, Lisa, when we started in 2019, augmented reality was just forming. I actually speak to dozens of augmented reality companies that have been in business for 10 years, and they're still only doing like $1 million to $2 million in revenue. So, as you know, we acquired Vacuum Cleaner Market and Infinite Pet, and we recently launched True Life, and so we use those for test beds. And we got lucky in 2020 where those businesses became in very high demand. But time augmented reality showed up to the party. We were there in 2020 with our AR tech stack. And so in 2020, the augmented reality product mix started to take off. In 2021, which is really your question, I expect that to continue. And so in 2021, I think that it's fair to say that revenue will be split evenly, meaning 50%, technology, and 50% product sales, meaning e-com. I think in 2022, it will e-com will be less and less. I mean, e-com continues to grow, but it's not going to grow as fast as our technology business. And so we see e-com becoming a smaller and smaller part of our revenue, even though in 2020 it was the majority.
Great, thank you. I guess I'll go back in the queue.
Mr. Thompson, you are allowed a follow-up question if you'd wish.
Is that okay? Okay. I really haven't had a chance to go through the numbers because I still haven't found all of them yet, just the MD&A. As far as Kashif, you mentioned that there was a whole bunch of one-time expenses in 2020. Do you actually have a number for that?
Lisa, it's a combination of different things. We haven't completely quantified it. Some of it's related to the financing. So we initially called that one time, but we just recently did another financing with some of the recruitment costs. So we can look to normalizing that, and I can probably send that to you separately if you want to build it for your model.
Right. So can you give us a guess of what at least the first quarter looks like as far as expenses?
I think at this point we're just going to be closing the quarter, so I can, as I said, we'll mention that on our next call.
Okay, great. And do you want to give us any insight to how March went?
So I'll just speak to your question. So Q1, Lisa, is going to be another quarter in revenue. And we will be releasing that as soon as possible. But, we can't really pre-release it on this call. But we've had 8 back-to-back quarterly records in revenue, and we expect that to be 9.
That's great. That's really good to hear. How's the ad business coming? The platform? What's the timing on that?
Yeah, the ad business is, as you know, we hired Harish from Microsoft, and he's now hired a bunch of ad sales people, and we are in the process of scaling that business. It is live, and as soon as we have something to report, we will put it out, but we expect it to be a much bigger part of our second half of 2021 revenue mix. The first half was really getting Harish situated and setting it up.
Okay, great. I guess my final question is the hologram that you've been demonstrating, and it looks to be actually awesome. Have you?
Thank you.
Different ideas on how to monetize that?
We do. So I believe the main way to monetize it is to create a self-serve platform where you, Lisa, will be able to log into your own account, and you will be able to take out your cell phone and beam yourself into anywhere you want to go as a live human hologram. And so, you'll pay for that service. And we could see, so everybody on the planet, I believe, will want to use that technology.
What's the timing on something like that rolling out?
Well, it's happening in 2021, I could tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not put a date on it because my team will kill me if I do. So I think just stay tuned.
Okay, great. I'll let somebody else ask some questions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
And again, to ask a question, it's *1 on your telephone keypad. We do ask that you please limit your time to 1 question and 1 follow-up before cycling back into the queue. Your next question will be from Kelvin Kong of Research Capital. Please go ahead.
Well, hi, Evan and Kashi. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Kelvin.
Hey, Calvin.
Hey. Just got a quick question here. So, in terms of, I'm kind of alluding back to an answer that you provided to Lisa. So you said your product mix for technology and e-commerce will be likely, targeting a 50-50 between the two. Can you just give us some insight as to kind of how, your resource will be kind of allocated, and I guess, specifically how, I guess, some of the proceeds from your recent financing will kind of, get you there, and kind of where your focus is on, allocating money to get you guys to that target.
So some of that, Calvin, is going to be organic growth, and we're already experiencing that in Q1 and continuing into Q2. So our existing tech stack is gaining a lot of traction in the marketplace. But we also see acquisitions as another potential major source of kind of accelerating our technology sales and revenue mix. So there's a number of acquisitions that discussions that I'm in right now, and we look at the capital that we raised from Mackie as growth capital, and we're going to use it to accelerate our technology revenue growth, as well as investing in our tech stack.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
Kelly.
All right. And your next question will come from John Melilio, is a private investor. Please go ahead. John Melilio.
Hey, John. Hello? Yes, we can hear you. Oh, how you doing? My bad. Sorry, I was on my phone. I just had a question about your exposure to Bitcoin or crypto assets, intangible assets. Are you guys considering reallocating more of your cash towards Bitcoin in the near term?
No, we danced that dance, and I don't see us going back into Bitcoin.
Okay. Yeah, that was my only question. I was just wondering.
Okay, thank you.
And your next question will come from Steven Spielvogel, is a private investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, hello. Thank you for taking my call. I was hoping to find out about any patents that you might have regarding the hologram technology. Can you please tell us a little bit about the IP associated with the very exciting hologram technology, please? Thank you.
We're preparing to file multiple patents around the technology. We've engaged with patent attorneys, and we are preparing to file patents around it. So that's where we're at with that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Our next question will come from Susan Oltenburn is a private investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Sue. I'd like to find out a little bit more about your higher education business that started with Ryerson. I believe you mentioned earlier that you're partnering with Microsoft. Wondering where it is now and where you want to go in this year and next.
Sure. Thank you for the question. So we had a super successful launch with Ryerson University in 2020. I believe that they are doubling down, and there's some additional business, I think, that will be happening with Ryerson. As far as Microsoft goes, they have very strong relationships across higher ed. We are a Microsoft partner. We are now, we hired house at Nextech that are working with Microsoft specifically on going after higher ed. And so, stay tuned. I mean, it's on our roadmap, and 2021 we should have some exciting developments around our ed tech. Yeah, thanks, Sue.
Our next question will come from Tom Stevens, private investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. I had a question about whether your thoughts on what COVID-19 coming to an end will have on your business.
That's a good question. We have not seen a slowdown. COVID-19 is winding down. We have not seen a slowdown. Like I mentioned earlier, we're expecting Q1 to be a record. We believe that our business was never a COVID business per se. It wasn't dependent on COVID. COVID accelerated the adoption of the technology that we sell. So all COVID did was push the industry that we are in 3 years forward. Now it's 3 years forward, and it's going strong. It's not going to go back 3 years again after COVID ends. And so we actually just, benefited from COVID, even though COVID was a tragedy from a business standpoint. We don't see our business slowing down at all from COVID. In fact, what we're really hearing is that now that COVID's going away, enterprise customers are going to be spending more money on the technology that we sell.
So you don't feel that when people go back to work, they're working at, going back to the office to work at the office, and going to live events and things such as that it won't have effect on any of your businesses?
Not at all. It's hard to explain on this call, and I'm happy to have a separate call with you. But the world changed. It was a paradigm shift. When you go through a paradigm shift, you don't shift back. And so it's, COVID-19 is not coming to an end is not going to have a negative impact on our business. We believe that actually it's going to have a positive impact on our business because there's going to be more spending on the technology that we sell. Our technology is not just about work from home, shop from home. That's not the sum total of what we do. And also, one last thing I'll leave you with is that prior to 2020, prior to the pandemic, I'd say 95% of the workforce was forced to come into the office. After the pandemic, it's going to be 50%, 60%. That's a huge number of people that are going to be able to work from home, work remotely, that were not there previously. That's a huge, huge number. And so our business is going to continue to grow even after COVID-19. We'll leave it at that.
That's good to hear. I wonder if I could get a follow-up question.
Sure.
I'm curious. It sounds like your business is far-reaching geographically. Are there areas that are more opportunistic at this point for the company? In other words, how are all your different areas doing geographically?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Again, I don't know how deep we want to go on this call, but I'll leave it at this. In the Asia Pacific region, the demand for augmented reality is insatiable. It's off the charts. In the Asia Pacific region specifically, there's an extraordinary demand for augmented reality. In the EMEA region, I would say the demand is probably second, and then in North America it would be like third. And so there's different products that we sell, and in different regions, there's different demand metrics. So that's kind of just high level on the AR side, and then as far as our events platform, I think in North America and EMEA, it's a little bit stronger, although the Asia Pacific region is starting to catch up as well. So I would say there's a global demand for our services and products, and I think in a year we'll have a better view of where there's stronger demand specifically.
So thanks for your input.
You're welcome.
Your next question will come from Eric Winkler of Tyson Global. Please go ahead.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Eric.
A couple of quick questions. One, how do you see your ability to release the results faster after a close?
That's a great question, Eric. I'll take that with you offline. But yeah.
Okay. Secondly, as the business scales up, how do you accomplish that? Do you see bigger contracts? Do you see, is the sales force, like, are you going to a subscription model, or is it more renewal? Yeah, like, how will your cost of goods sales grow versus revenue?
So it's really there's two factors. One is create more self-serve technology so that, people can just sign up, just like you do with Zoom. You don't talk to anybody at Zoom. You just sign up for Zoom. So we're building that into our tech stack. And then we're also doubling our sales force in Q2 and I expect we will double it again in the second half of the year. So I wouldn't be, our sales force essentially, Eric, deals with the larger, more complex customer requests, while the self-serve platform can deal with, the simpler use cases. So we want to have both in place as we grow into 2021 and beyond. So beef up the sales force and create more of a frictionless self-serve platform. Those are the two paths that we're pursuing to growth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your next question will come from Mo Chima of Position Imaging. Please go ahead.
Hi, Evan. My question is, has Nextech explored partnership opportunities with platforms or marketplaces like Shopify, Etsy, where there's more of a one-to-many approach to really get the most bang out of the buck?
It's a great question. The challenge there. So the answer is this year, 2021, we will be looking at those types of partnerships. In 2020, we were just trying to keep up with the demand for our products and services and build our foundational technology. In 2021, as we mentioned earlier, self-serve is a key piece of our technology roadmap, especially for AR live streaming. So I can envision where we could potentially have Shopify selling our AR live streaming to all of their customers. So you have to have the right product for that. You have to be able to scale, right? And so we're just kind of waiting for that right product to be able to go to and have those kinds of partnerships.
And my second question is, we're seeing a trend of buy online, pick up in store, and buy online, ship from store, sort of phenomenon going on, and a lot of that picking and processing is happening in the retail store. And there has been a lot of talk about augmented reality expediting the operations process of picking with augmented reality. So I was just curious if you've explored that side of the business, the opportunity to digitize the inventory that's in the store.
Not yet. It's an interesting use case that is brand new, but no, we have not really discussed that in-house. But maybe we will.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Mo.
And your next question will come from Edward Capilani, as a private investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Evan. Thank you for taking my call. A question on your technologies and what you might have patented and other technologies that you may be seeking patents for. Just want to get a sense of what is actually yours and no one else has. What advantage do we have? Thank you.
Yeah. So we're just now pursuing patents on our technology, primarily because in the early days, it wasn't so clear which technology was going to win. And so having a patent on technology that you don't sell makes no sense to me because patents are not cheap. So we waited until we identified products that were in demand, products that we can sell, and now we're pursuing patents. Hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your next question will come from Eric Nelson, private investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Evan. Yeah,
hey, Eric.
Have you given any thought to somehow teaming up with museums, world-class museums, where you could set up rooms where people can actually go to these places and investigate? I mean, it's so hard these days
I mean, even before COVID, to visit some of these museums because you had to line up.
Yep.
You know, I think that would be a tremendous opportunity for people that just can't get to these places. And there's some great museums all over the world, and I was lucky to see them when I was younger, but now it's practically impossible.
Yeah, no, you're making a great question, and so the answer is yes. We are actually talking to a museum group in Asia. So the answer is we are, yes, and it is a good use case. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks.
All right, I think we'll take one more question and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. Your last question will come from Jeff Gates, private investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, Evan. Congratulations on everything you guys have done in the last 2.5 years, starting with just you and now getting close to 300. It's quite impressive. At the beginning, you talked about the self-service hologram potential.
Yeah.
Is there anybody currently doing that in the world?
No.
So then the potential, once you organize it the way you envision it, the potential you would be first to market on something like that, and that's worldwide, and I presume in every language or whatever, correct?
Correct. It would be live streaming, so you'd be able to speak in your native tongue. So there wouldn't even be any language translation. It would just be your native tongue, and it's for everybody on the planet who has a smartphone in their pocket, because it'll be triggered through the Airshow app.
So if somebody's in Mexico and their grandparent is in the United States, they could literally beam themselves into their grandparents' living room and sit with them.
Exactly. Think about troops in the field. You know, you see these movies all the time where, you know, they're away from their wife and kids for extended periods, and then, you know, they get a minute on a Zoom call or whatever. Well, this would be, you know, a lot better than that. If you think about education, you could beam professors from Harvard, from MIT, you know, top professors in the world, all over the globe, into people's homes. It really is transformative technology, and we couldn't be more excited about it. I mean, you've seen, everybody I hope has seen me. I'm the guinea pig. I'm the test. I'm the one, and I beam myself into everybody's living room with a vacuum cleaner to show how it's done, show that it can be done. And so, yeah, super excited about that.
Sounds amazing. Keep up the good work, Evan. We're all rooting for you guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
That's
all right.
We have to go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, on that note, we will end it. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining me and Kashif and the rest of our team on this call. And we'll be back for the next conference call. Thank you.
Thank you. And this concludes today's conference call. You may now disconnect.